guys, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a video about how to balance your hormones, and this video is of course just for women. Now, back in the early 1900s and before, girls usually started their periods on average at about age 16, and today girls start their periods as young as 9 and 10 years old. I actually started my period at age 10, which that's not a good thing, if you're wondering. So the normal menstrual cycle lasts about 28 days. Anywhere from 21 to 35 days is considered normal, but 28 days is sort of the average. Now the first day of your period, the first day you start bleeding, is day 1 of your cycle. At this point, your estrogen and progesterone levels are low. And then by day 7, your estrogen levels start to rise slowly, which is causing massive cell growth in the uterus. And this is, of course, in preparation for pregnancy. And then just as a side note, estrogen is made up of 3 different types of hormones: estradiol, estrone, and estriol. Now, estrogen is a cell proliferator, meaning it causes massive cell growth. And a lot of people think that estrogen is bad because of this, because it can lead to, excessive amounts can lead to things like breast cancer. But estrogen is not bad in and of itself. It's just a matter of the levels in your body. Too much is bad, too little is bad. That's why we're talking about balance today. So estrogen also causes the eggs and the ovaries to develop. And then it also increases vaginal lubrication, so that sperm, which helps sperm sort of, get up there and meet with the egg. And then for those of you who are trying to get pregnant, you want to look for vaginal discharge that is really kind of gooey and clear, like egg whites. It should look exactly like clear snot or egg whites, which sounds gross, but that's the perfect time to try to get pregnant. And sperm can actually live in the body for up to 5 days. So even if you have intercourse a few days before you ovulate, that sperm can stay in there for a while and you could still get pregnant. So be aware of that too. So anyway, by day 14, a fully developed egg bursts forward from the ovaries, and the fallopian tube sort of, moves it along in preparation to meet the sperm. So then just after this, estrogen starts to go down slowly over the next couple of weeks, and then progesterone starts to go up and ends up soaring to about 200%. Progesterone has a ripening effect on the uterus and also heightens the mood and increases sexual desire. So then around day 26, progesterone is given the message to start going down, and then estrogen is almost at its lowest level at this point. Then in the next couple days, the blood supply to the uterus is cut and the lining starts to shed. You've started your period again. It's a really fascinating process. Now, sex hormones are made out of cholesterol, so if you don't have enough cholesterol, you can't make sex hormones. From cholesterol, your body makes pregnenolone, and then from pregnenolone, your body makes progesterone. And then from progesterone, estrogen, testosterone, and then adrenal hormones are made. So as a side note, we've got this really great test called a pap test, or a pap smear. It's recommended to have one done every 1 to 3 years once you become sexually active. And so basically what's done is that they take a small little sample of the cervix, and then it's looked at under a microscope. So because it's almost like a little biopsy of the cervix, there's a small little wound there. So then when a woman has intercourse with a man, the sperm goes up inside her, and then her immune system sort of wants to attack this invader. But then after having sex with the same man over and over again, her body sort of realizes, oh, this is the same person, and then it settles down. So not many people know this about pap tests, but you really shouldn't have sex for a couple of weeks after you have a pap test. Actually, you can, but you should really use some sort of protection like a condom, because you don't want that sperm to go up there and then cause your immune system to start attacking it, because you're trying to heal that little wound that was caused by the pap smear itself. So, you can have sex, just make sure that you use a condom for the, first couple of weeks after you have the test. Okay, so let's talk about your actual period. Now, your period should not be that uncomfortable. You shouldn't be having horrible cramps mood swings, heavy bleeding, or any other debilitating symptoms. Mild cramps are fine. Anything that's mild is normal, but if you're experiencing severe symptoms and you're dreading your period every month, you might have some sort of hormonal imbalance going on. A big problem today is estrogen dominance and then progesterone deficiency. This can lead to all sorts of issues such as PCOS, endometriosis, infertility, and even breast cancer, uterine cancer, ovarian cancer, and many others. Of course, when you go to the doctor with these symptoms, he's going to give you birth control, or if you're older, he'll give you hormone replacement therapy. In some cases, because of mood, instability, a lot of doctors will just prescribe an antidepressant, and this is really irresponsible in my opinion. So the signs of hormonal imbalance would be things like weight gain, depression, anxiety, infertility, fatigue, low libido, insomnia, digestive issues, hair loss. Sometimes if you have PCOS, you have extra hair, kind of like in the manly areas, irregular periods, vaginal dryness, female cancers, and acne. So what are the cause of all these hormonal imbalances? Well, one big one is the use of plastics. These chemicals that are in plastics are completely destroying our endocrine system. They're called xenoestrogens, or the prefix xeno means foreign, so it's a foreign estrogen. Xenoestrogens are 20,000 times stronger than natural estrogens. Now, xenoestrogens are very strong cell proliferators. That's why they're highly linked to things like cancer. Now, obesity is also a major factor when it comes to hormonal imbalances because extra body fat increases levels of estrogen and other hormones in the body, and this can actually lead to female cancers. Now, estrogen disruptors, such as plastic, can mimic or partly mimic naturally occurring hormones in the body, estrogens, androgens, thyroid hormones, potentially producing overstimulation. They also bind to a receptor within a cell, and then they block the endogenous hormone from binding. The normal sign then fails to occur and the body fails to respond properly. They also interfere or block the way natural hormones or their receptors are made or controlled, for example, by altering their metabolism in the liver. So please, please stop storing your food in plastic. Don't ever heat food in plastic. Don't buy water in plastic bottles. It's bad for you, and it's also bad for the environment and the poor animals in the wild and in the ocean. And don't fall for, BPA-free plastic because it might not have BPA in it, but it has other chemicals that are also endocrine disruptors. Another big cause of hormonal imbalances is eating corn-fed and non-organic animals. These animals are so unhealthy, and all the antibiotics and hormones and chemicals in their food, water, and the soil is going to get into your body and just wreak havoc with your hormones. If you can't afford or obtain grass-fed or pasture-raised animal products, just don't eat them at all. It's that important. Another problem that can cause hormonal issues is what you're wearing. Acrylic, polyester, nylon are all unnatural fabrics that may be contributing to hormone issues. It's preferable to choose organic cotton, modal, hemp, or linen. Cotton is one of the heavily sprayed crops in the world, I believe. So it's really important to go for organic cotton. If you can't afford that, of course, just buy regular cotton and avoid things like polyester, acrylic, and nylon. And then, of course, choosing organic food is essential because pesticides contain xenoestrogens and many other harmful chemicals that can lead to cancer and other health problems. Eating non-organic soy foods is another big problem that can lead to hormonal issues, especially cancer, because the extremely toxic pesticide called Roundup fills the soybean with loads of very powerful xenoestrogenic chemicals. It's not the natural plant hormones in the bean that can cause issues, but the unnatural xenoestrogens in the pesticide. So please choose organic, non-GMO soy products. And then not eating enough cruciferous vegetables is another problem. The liver plays an important role in metabolizing and clearing hormones in the body. So when the liver isn't functioning optimally, Hormones can recirculate through the body and lead to hormonal excesses and imbalances. It's therefore essential that we restore optimal liver functioning. These cruciferous vegetables and their phytochemicals support the liver's detoxification process through stimulating enzymes required to remove toxins and hormones from the body, like too much estrogen. One more tip I have is to filter your water from things like fluoride and chlorine. Taking a shower in chlorinated water is like being in a toxic gas chamber. So get a shower head filter and a reverse osmosis or distiller for your drinking water. It's an expense at first, but you'll save loads of money in the long run because you won't have to buy expensive water bottles anymore, and you'll be saving your health. So get rid of all the bad things that are increasing xenoestrogens and add all the things that will help rid them from your body. Another thing you can do is add some freshly ground flax seeds to your morning oatmeal or in a smoothie, and you can enjoy red clover infusions and eat cruciferous vegetables as often as you can, and filter your water, eat organic, and stay away from plastic. And then finally, I want to go over period protection for a minute. Now, I use the menstrual cup and natural reusable organic cotton pads. And then I finally got my daughter to use these pads because we're trying to live a zero waste or a low waste lifestyle, and using disposable pads is really bad for the environment, and it's also expensive. Now, I was going to do a video about how to relieve menstrual symptoms like cramps and things like that, but balancing your hormones can all, relieve these anyway. Now, it might take a few months, maybe even a year for some of you who have really messed up hormones to really see some sort of benefit, but in the long run, it's really worth it. So, giving you tips about how to relieve cramps is kind of, silly when all you need to do is really balance your hormones. Hopefully that'll just, it'll relieve itself naturally. So, everyone's different, so there's no way to know when you're going to start seeing changes. You might see them right away, or, it might take a few months. So just be patient and stick with all the tips that I've given you. So I want to thank you so much for watching this video and taking your time to watch it. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section. And if you'd like to see more videos on health and nutrition, please subscribe to my channel and visit my website. It's nicolesnaturals.blog. I'll leave that in the description, and please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And again, thanks so much for spending your time with me, and we'll see you next time.